Good morning. Good morning. I am Reverend Karin Lewis, and I'm one of the senior ministers here at New Vision Center, and I am so grateful that I am here and that you are here and that New Vision is here. So, let's clap. I don't know why I try so hard to make it through a song of Cerise without crying, because welcome, welcome. You might have noticed that we have a couple people missing this morning. They are, our beloved Reverend Leslie and Jeff and Beverly and Karen Blakely and Rhonda. There's a whole bunch of people, and you know where they are? In Asilomar. Now, for those of you who are new here today or who might have not heard, Asilomar is this beautiful place just south of Monterey Bay. And for the last, I think, 80 years or so, that is where the summer conference of Science of Mind, of religious science, was held. And so that is the place where every year hundreds and hundreds of people would come together for 1 week and know the truth. And know the truth that there's one life that is God's life, and that is our life now. And so that is where Ernest Holmes would always, the founder of this teaching, would always address these beloveds. And it was in 1959, so that's what, 60 years ago, if I do the math right? That's where he gave the famous Sermon by the Sea. Is it 50 or 60? Somebody. A lot of years ago. That's where he gave the Sermon by the Sea. And we have a message from Asilomar for all of us. So let's see if we can roll that.
Hey NBC, we're sending you lots of love from here at Asilomar. We're going to come back to you all charged up and loved up and ready to share everything we learned. And so
Yes, so they are having a good time, as you can tell. So, and we are doing just well without that support team, right? Yes. The slides are working, the music is beautiful, and let's see how the talk is going. Actually, I am coming back from a period of growth in my life. Those of you who were here last week, I have never, ever in my life been so raw when I stood here on the platform. And I want to take a moment and thank you for all the love that came back, all the texts and the emails. Thank you. It is proof that we can do that, right? We can be vulnerable, we can be open, because, as Marianne Williamson says, if we allow ourselves to be in that place, we give others the invitation to be who they are, without masks. So I am very, very grateful. And today we are going to take a look at the second part of our two-part series of Growing in Grace. So last week, if you weren't here, I spoke a lot about how when life extends that strong invitation to grow, which sometimes comes in form of a 2x4, grow, we often respond by walking through those steps that we also walk through when something happened in our life and we grieve, the 5 steps of grievance. If you haven't seen the talk, it is available on our website, and you can just click on it, listen to it. So we looked at growing when life gives us a strong invitation to grow. Today, I would love to take it to the other side of that spectrum, to the place where we can say, I am ready. I have a dream. I want to bring something forth that hasn't been done the way I am going to do it. And what can we do to help us along the way? I am a big believer that this is a very, very practical teaching. It's a very practical teaching for me. I like to think about living the science of mind, living it out in the world. So we are going to lean in this morning into the 5 key components of living the life that we want to live. Does that sound okay? All right? Yeah? No? No, I think I'm going to... Does that sound okay? Oh, there you are. There you are. So, and the reason why I want you to be right here with me is because this talk needs you. It needs you. Each one of you, because it needs your dreams. It needs your desires to live the life that you want to live. So often we talk about the things that we need to move aside, you know, the beliefs that we picked up that tell us, I am not enough. That good life, the life that I dream about, is only there for others. So we spend a lot of time moving those false beliefs out of the way. And when we do that, it behooves us to step into with this idea of, this is how I want to live. This is what's important for me. This is my dream. And we can do this in the sanctuary, and everyone who's joining us online, please participate with us. Because as a center, as a beloved center, we can put out invitations. We can show different paths. We can invite you to step in. And it is your choice. It is everyone's choice, because when we were created, we were given full dominion, full authority, free will. And I love having free will, most of the time. So we begin with taking a moment and really asking ourselves, if it helps you, allow your eyes to close or just soften your gaze and just ask yourself, where do I want to grow in my life? What is the dream that I have really not allowed myself to give energies to? What is it that I want to stand for? As Cerise sang so beautiful, this is the time, this is the place. And if not me, who then? So allow a picture in your mind to rise up. Because we know that our mind thinks in pictures, right? If I say the bed you sleep in or the door you open when you go home, you don't see BED or DOOR, you see actually a picture of it. So allow just a picture to rise up. And this talk is going to be infinitely better if you keep that picture in your mind, because you're going to apply those 5 keys to your individual experience. So I trust that everybody has an idea, has the area, knows a little bit of how you want to live your life. And come back here, yes, refreshed, nice. So I bet you this plant at some point had a dream. When it was a seed, it had the dream to burst open and to grow. Now, were those the best conditions for the dream to grow? Probably not. in the concrete. And yet it did. And that is the energy that we are going to put with our dreams, the possibility, the assurance that if we can dream it, if we can perceive it in our mind's eye, it is our dream. It calls us to bring it forward. I'm going to start by sharing my dream with you. That's my dream. I always know it's my dream because it brings me to tears every time I think about it. And it is, I call it Karin's Karin Community. That will not be the name of it. I just wanted to clarify this. Because when I saw the slide, I'm like, whoa. No, this is just what I call it in my mind. So it is a community that provides housing for generations, for different generations, the kind of living we used to do, right? I grew up in Germany. My grandma lived right next door. There was an aunt. There were always cousins around, you know. There were always people around that we could rely on. And even if my parents had a challenging time with each other, well, we would just go over to the cousin's house and have dinner with them. And it worked. It worked. So that is my dream, to have it be a place where everybody has their personal space, because I know it's so important for us, right? Here in the Western world, we need our personal space. So there's going to be personal space as well as community space. We're going to be in harmony with one another. We live spiritual teaching there. That is my dream. That is my dream. And that is the picture that comes up for that. Yes, we have a sign-up sheet in the concierge room. Oh, yes. This is a couple-year dream, and it is possible, so thank you. Yes, yes, you will hear a lot about this. So let's turn to your dreams. Let's go ahead and start by walking down this beautiful acronym of DREAM, and we're going to walk this out together, yes? Awesome. Okay, what's the first thing when we have this dream? Well, the very first thing we need to do is to decide that we are going to do it. I am always amazed when I ask somebody, how would you like to live? And they share with me the idea. And then they say, but I don't know if I really want that. Well, that's the first thing we have to do. We have to take a stand and say, this is me. I am taking a stand for my dream. That is the power to decide, to move into that direction. And every time when I think about the power when we decide to do something, this wonderful quote by Henry David Thoreau comes to mind. And it says, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will be met with a success unexpected in common hours. Now, I love that quote, and I don't love that quote. I love what it stands for. I do not like that languaging so much. However, we have the chance and the opportunity to change it. And so this is what I invite us to allow us to feel and to say. I'm going to read one line, and I want you to repeat it back to me. If I advance confidently in the direction of my dream and endeavor to live the life which I have imagined, I will be met with a success unexpected in common hours. When we make things personal, when we are willing to say, this is me, all that power of the universe rushes in to support us. Yes? Yes. Are you willing to decide to stand for your dream? Yeah. It's a little different to think about it that way, isn't it? And if you think about it, we give every day of our life, we give in exchange for living a day of our life. And so, anchoring into our vision gives us direction, gives us energy. So the D stands for decide. What does the R of dream stand for? It stands for respond. How do I respond to that which comes towards me? Life. How do I respond to situations, people, ideas? Am I a person who says right away, yeah, I can't do that. That's not possible. Do you feel that energy holding it back? We say, I want this, I decided to do it, but then something comes and we're like, well, not that way. That's not working. So this R in dream always asks of us to respond differently, to respond from a place of a person that is already living their dream. If I already would be living in this community that was created, how would I respond to an inquiry? How would I respond to someone stepping forward and say, I love your dream, I am looking for a place to retire to, I would like to invest in your community? See, all of those things I have to prepare myself before they happen. And as we all know, everything is created twice. The chair that you are sitting in, this podium, this talk, it has been created twice. It was once a thought in someone's mind, and then afterwards comes the outpicturing in this three-dimensional world. How are you asked to respond? If you think about your dream, if you think about what you want to create, how are you asked to respond? How are you asked to become, to live that dream? For me, it's a lot, again, in pictures. You know, I look at pictures, I take little bites of how would I like a certain aspect to look. And I create collages. Try that out. See if it works for you. So we have the decide. We are looking at responding differently. And we come to the E in dream. And that stands for enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. Think about your idea, your dream, your desire, and then think about your idea. Yes. Do you feel the difference? The universe is all energy. It responds to vibration. So we have to lift ourselves up into a vibration that can be then a match for that what we want to bring forward. And a directer way, a faster way, is to generate enthusiastic energy for it. That is why a community like this is a birthplace of ideas. Because we have a lot of people who are enthusiastic about a lot of things. Yeah. If you were here last week, we had 13 people who were stepped into partnership with New Vision Center, which was wonderful. And 2 of them came to me and they said, Reverend Karin, I would like to vision to bring forth a new team in our service team ministries. I am inspired to bring back the animal kinship ministries that we used to have here. Another one said, I would really like to create an opportunity for people to know when people do something socially and they might want to join, hiking or go see a movie together, those things. And I was like, yeah, great. Ideas are being born not because the leadership sits down together and says, oh, this would be a good idea, but because somebody feels an urge, a calling, an enthusiastic idea and says, oh, I could do that. I could do that. And this is the place. Energy reminds me of Einstein, right? And that quote comes in the next slide. So enthusiasm, it means theos, God in Greek, and anthos is possessed by a God, inspired. What would it take for you to perhaps push your limit a little bit and really fill your dream with that enthusiastic energy that is inspired by God? Think about it. For some, it might be to dance it out. For others, it might be to sing about it, to speak with someone about it who can really hear you. What's important is the vibration that you feel when you're doing it. Because that is what the universe, that's what life responds to. And that brings us to the A in dream, and the A stands for action. Action, action, action. Without action, a dream is just a dream. If we are willing to put action behind it, if we are willing to meet it and are willing to walk out the inspired ideas that we have about our dream, it becomes a reality. And here is where Einstein comes in. Everything is energy, and that is all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. Period. We believe physics, right? The laws of physics. Gravity. The way something goes into something has to come out. There's always a reaction to an action. It is the same with these metaphysical laws. If we match the frequency of the dream that we have, that only lives within us, if we match the frequency and we walk it out, it becomes reality. There's all there is to that. And how about those moments when we lose faith in that? That is when it is so helpful to have a mentor or a mastermind, people around us who we can call and say, I believe it's going to happen, but right now, I just lost my way. Can you hold me in that space? Can you mirror back to me the enthusiasm that I had just last week or just yesterday? Can you support me in that? Having a mentor, having someone who has been there, who can pull us up, is priceless. Here in this community, we call our beloved group of individuals who are trained to do that, practitioners, licensed practitioners, have devoted their life to knowing exactly that. When I have lost my way, they are the ones I can turn to. If I forgot who I am, I can turn to them. If I could prescribe something, I would prescribe for every person to find a mentor, to find a master group, to find someone that you can be real with, that can hear your dream and does not offer you all the reasons why that is not going to work, but rather says, all right, how can I support you? How can I support you? I am so grateful to be part of a community where that is part of our vision. You heard Nancy say our vision statement is revealing the power of love, because I do believe that that is revealing the power of love. Being there for another when they have lost temporarily their way. Being there for another to love them, to accept them, and to be part of their healing journey. So my invitation for this week is probably not hard to guess. Be reminded of the acronym of DREAM. Decide what it is that you want to bring into your life. Respond from a place of already embodying it. Give it enthusiastic energy. Follow it up with action. And connect with your mentor or your mastermind group. Thank you. Thank you. And I would like to invite all of the practitioners who are in service today and the ministers to please stand with me. Stand with me in the deep knowingness that there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. Every moment of every day, we are invited to connect, to commune with Spirit, with Source, with God. And it is right here in this place, as we recognize that if God is all there is, I am of it. Everything, everyone, every person, everything is part of this creative energy. How grateful I am to breathe into this space, to know that each one of our dreams is there for us to make it manifest. For if we have been given the idea, if we have been given the dream, if we have given the opportunity to connect with it comes many, many paths of walking it out and bringing it forth. And so I stand in great gratitude for the eternal loving kindness of Sweet Spirit, the eternal givingness, grace that allows us to grow. And so it is with an overflowing heart and so much love that I just place this word into universal law, knowing it is done, it is complete, as together we anchor this truth. And so it is.